And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. Hope you're doing really well, guys. The sun is out behind me. Get your cameras in the skies and send your evidence into me. UndercoverETUK@gmail.com. I appreciate all the evidence that does come in. Keep sending it in to me. I'm going to show a couple of potential UAP clips today. One from Ben in Oklahoma and one from Chris Carncross in Brisbane, Australia as well. I say potential because we've got to analyse it and go through all the steps to make sure that they are in fact UAP. So we're going to look at speed. We're going to look at plasma jets. We're going to look at all of that stuff, guys. Also, we're going to talk about the UAP community today and how difficult it is to push real evidence. Now, when I took this on and I started recording and I started seeing all the real UAP for myself on camera, I thought to myself, well, how difficult is it going to be to show the world real UAP evidence, right? I thought it'd be a doddle. Turns out it's not easy at all, okay? There are people within the community that I actually respect that will outright deny the evidence that you guys are taking. Yeah, and I'm not even trying to show them like stuff that's hard to even accept. I'm showing them the clearest evidence that you guys have taken over the past few years, and they're just not having it. It's not like these clips are easily debunkable, guys. They're not. And I've been putting my channel on the line now for quite some time. No one's called me out on it. No one's turned around and said, you know what, I'll take that challenge of analysing those videos. The challenge is still open, guys. I've got a handful of videos that I will put my channel on the line for. If anyone can debunk them, I'll quit my channel, right? So I have laid the seed yesterday. I spoke to Grant Levac on X. I like Grant. He's a funny guy. It seems like he's got some integrity as well. He calls out all the bullshitters. He's really fed up with all the crap that's going out on X at the moment. All the sources, all the bullshit, you know. So I like him for that reason, right? And he also helped call John Stewart out for being a grifter a few weeks ago, or a few months ago now. So it shows the man's got integrity, right? So he posted this yesterday. I have no time for narcissists, bullshitters, engagement farmers. Sadly, there are far too many in the UAP UFO community. And this is following all the BS with Mark Christopher Lee, the sources, all that stuff, right? So I get his frustrations. Honestly, I feel like I've been at war all week dealing with all the BS that's been coming at me as well. So, yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. I thought I would lay the seed for Grant Levac. So I said, it's hard trying to get the truth out there. Where money is concerned, people find a way to exploit ways to make it. Grant, if you can find someone to debunk the best evidence I have, I'm all ears. And that's because I'm genuine. And I've said it many, many times. Guys, if you can debunk the best evidence I've got, I'll quit my channel because I've got no interest in doing this and showing fake shit. Got no interest at all. So Grant says, what's your best evidence? And guys, this is a little bit of a trap. Grant, I apologise now. I did lay the seed with intentions to do this video. I knew what you were going to say because I've asked you in the past and you said it before as well. But I just wanted to go through it again because honestly, it's a big problem in the UFO community. Again, it's not an attack on you, just trying to wake people up to the realisation of what people like myself are dealing with when dealing with this topic. So I've gone on to say, I mean, where do I start? Laugh out loud. So there's a guy in Oklahoma, Ben Harrison, as you know, that has recorded clear UAP on quite a few occasions since 2024 when we asked people to start recording the skies. Here's one of his saucer captures. There's around 5 or 6 very clear clips that I have. Okay, overlaying the video now. It's the clearest UAP evidence that this channel has received. Clearer than anything that I can honestly verify in recent times. Okay, across the board. Across the board. So I showed him that one thinking, there's no way he's going to call that a bird. And I also shared the enhancement of one of the still shots. As the saucer drops down, we've managed to get a still shot. Doc's people have done an enhancement. This is what we've come out with, and you can quite clearly see the round shape of the saucer with a turret attached. And it's also got 3 lines going over the top of the saucer itself, and this is clearly the design. Now you can see it's all muffled. This is the plasma or the energy they use to literally hide themselves. And if you look carefully, there are pilots, potentially pilots, inside this craft, okay? So, I shared him what I consider the best footage out there, at least the best footage that's come into me, with an enhanced pic. I then went on to say, chap lives in Mustang, where 90% of the town work for the FAA. Grant's analysis. Cheers for sharing. My thoughts. No anomalous behaviour or flight characteristics are exhibited, okay? Against the clear blue sky with no reference points, a bird in flight would appear as a fast-moving black speck or silhouette. Its size, speed and trajectory match the brief crossing motion. The residential setting, lawn, trees visible at the edges, house, makes birds extremely common. The camera's focus is locked on the distant white airplane, so anything closer, like a bird at mid-distance, loses detail and looks like a simple dark dot. Okay, could be an insect close to the lens. If it flew right past the phone camera whilst focused on distant sky/plane, it would register as a fast black streak or dot, common in outdoor phone videos. Pareidolia is likely. The enhanced image is unreliable as it incorporates heavy digital zoom and contrast sharpening adjustments on a tiny, heavily compressed image with low res pixelation. This introduces noise, artifacts and blur, which in turn creates amorphous dark shape in the still.
You encountered something that was extraordinary.
Sure.
What do you do?
I will try to get extraordinary evidence in support of it. Yes. That's instantly. That's what I would do. If I saw aliens walking, I'd pull out my smartphone. I'd find a video. I would try to steal something off their hip. So I'd have an artifact. I would, oh my gosh, I'd yell to other people, get images of the same thing. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just say, this is interesting. Now let me go to Congress and tell everyone that I had an encounter with aliens. No, I wouldn't expect anybody, any of my colleagues to believe me, even if it were true. I would be seeking the kind of evidence that extraordinary claims require.
Right. So part of me feels like Grant Levac has watched this on the lowest quality on the X platform. Part of me does feel like that, which is a rookie mistake. Okay, you want to up that to the highest quality you can, which I think is 720p on the X player. Okay, so maybe he hasn't done that. I don't know. But for me, that analysis based on the video that I'm overlaying now is crazy whack. Okay, crazy whack. The saucer, you can clearly see detail on it. You can clearly see it's not a bird. And yeah, anyway, it was the first clip, guys, and I wanted to give him benefit of the doubt. Okay, so Grant goes on to say, I think a prosaic explanation is most likely. Fair enough. So I responded with, that's why we got more than one clip. Even though the saucer looks like no bird this chap has ever recorded, laugh out loud, I get the response. It's the response most people who have never seen UAP give. But what if I then showed you a clip where it's impossible to write stuff off? And this is where I thought, well, okay, if he's going to say that these little pixels, or these little this, or this thing could be this, or, you know, whatever, if he's moaning about detail, right, I'm going to give him something where the detail is irrelevant. Completely irrelevant in terms of the quality of the objects themselves, the detail of the objects themselves, because this next clip is the whales clip, okay? So Grant said, send away and I'll give my honest opinion. Fine. So I said, Type 5 jellyfish UAP, surrounded and interacting with other UAP. You will need a big screen and a way to slow this down and change contrast. You will see a white jellyfish UAP firing out orbs at silly speeds, along with energy pockets turning in the sky either side of it. And that's where the contrast change comes in, guys. If you do a contrast change on this video, what you find is you've got energy pockets turning either side, surrounding the white object in question. And if you slow it down enough, guys, you see that white object, that jellyfish UAP, firing out those orbs at silly speeds, right? So I thought if he's going to actually analyse this, regardless of whether he thinks they're birds or bugs or whatever, there's a couple of things happening in this clip that cannot be explained. Something that we do not possess that is happening, right? Grant's response, I see a number of what are most likely bugs in the foreground and then a white object entering the frame at the bottom that is most likely a balloon. Loss of visual is most likely due to reflection and or refraction of sunlight. One thing I'll note with this statement is there's a lot of likely. Most likely, likely, likely due. You know? So there's no facts in here. This is just opinion, which is fine. So I put, don't forget the turn and energy pockets. Let me guess. Something easily explainable. Must be spider webbing just turning in front of the camera. I like you, Grant, but you need to get your eyes tested. Grant says, you asked my opinion, I've offered it. If you don't like what I'm saying, then we simply agree to disagree on what's being depicted in the footage you've shared. And I said, indeed, like I said, if you can find someone with equipment to fully analyse and check for fakery, I'll stick my channel on the line and quit if any of it is false. Grant Levac says, you want me to find someone for you. You shared the footage with me and I gave you my opinion. If you don't like my opinion, solicit a second opinion from someone else. It's kind of what I'm asking. I said, it's not that I don't like your opinion. It was expected. I choose to bring this up with you because of your initial comment. Humour me for a second. Imagine if people were seeking UAP evidence, then when they were shown, they dismissed it. I know your opinion, but that's just what's occurred. And that is the reality of what's just happened in this conversation, Grant. I've shown you real UAP evidence, and you couldn't even get close to seeing what really was in the clip. Not even close. And that's no disrespect to you. There are many people out there that will look at these clips and go, nah. And I don't know, maybe they just need to see 6 or 7 clips from the same man taken in the same spot before they go, oh, hang on a minute. I don't know, right? But clearly, like, it can land on a dinner plate and they're still not going to believe, right? My response to Grant actually saying, like, would you like me to find someone for you? I said, sure, long as they can go into each video in detail, run it through the correct processes and demonstrate that, sure, I'll stick my channel on the line if it can be proven fake or misleading. Likely this and likely that, though, doesn't really count. Grant goes on to say, it's not my job to do yours for you. So have at it and get a second opinion. I recommend Mick West. God. So look, Grant, I know it's not your job to do my job for me. I've already done my job on my videos. I'm saying, if you want, and going back to your very first message, if you have no time for narcissists, bullshitters and engagement farmers, when are you going to have time for the real thing? This is my point I'm making, and it's not an attack on you, Grant. This is genuine concern for the UAP community, because there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, just like yourself, mate, that don't really know whether they actually are looking at real UAP evidence or not. And so my question to you and to everyone else, if a real UAP clip was to land in front of your telly, and if you've watched my channel enough times, it already has, right? But if it has, and you're still in denial, how are we meant to show you? How are we meant to convince you? You're going to say, well, I need the 5 observables, right? I don't need other data to confirm that that's not a flipping bird. Do you know what I mean? So he's recommended Mick West. I said, that tells me all I need to know. You know, I shared the clip of the white object with Mick, and you know what he said? He said, I couldn't prove the object was moving up in the sky, and yet I did prove that. Here's Mick's debunk. He missed the fact there's a tree on the right, and the camera stables enough that you can clearly see the white object is moving upwards. He tried to tell me it was not, so I go back to what I just said. Imagine if you can prove UAP are real. And this is the point I was trying to make the whole time, guys. So there's the tree on the right hand side, and you can clearly see this object is still moving up the screen, no matter what's going on. Yeah, the tree is stabilized, the tree is not moving, guys, and yet the object is still moving up. And you can see when the camera goes up and gets the tree back in, the object is now up here and no longer down here. So we can prove very easily that this object is moving. But again, Mick was not willing to go into the details of the energy pockets, the fact that this thing was firing out orbs at silly speeds. And that's a concern for me, because I don't know whether Mick is actually being paid to spread disinformation, right? And then it makes me think, well, hang on a minute, I've just showed Grant the best UAP footage, the most compelling, with all the trimmings, and he's just outright denied them and then pushed me on to Dick West. So it bears the question, because in one hand, the man has integrity. He calls out the bullshitters. He really just wants the truth. He hasn't got time for narcissists. He ain't got time for leeches, all that stuff, which is great. I support all of that. What I can't understand is the evidence is laid in front of you on a platter and you can't process it. And if you can't process it, why are you demanding clarity from the UFO community? You know? And this is not, again, it's not an attack. I love you, Grant, right? It's not an attack. But where do we go from here? This is the point I'm making, guys. This is the answer I need, and the big question today. Where do we go from here? We've got the clearest UAP evidence. The Wales clip is a one and done. Anyone who deep dives that video, it's a one and done. Okay? I've already gone through this with Mick. He tried to dismiss the evidence. The thing he was using to try and debunk that video was so pathetic, it made me really question his motives. Clearly it's moving up into the sky, right? So I'm like, is this guy really, like, is he really in check with reality? Or is he just working for someone else? And that's how blatant this is, right? And I just wanted to share this with you guys, because this is a real challenge. It's a real problem. Grant Levac is just one of thousands of people out there who I have blatantly showed real UAP evidence to, and they just couldn't process it. So, big question. Where do we go from here? What's it going to take for these people to wake up and go, you know what? That's a real object. We're not alone. That's it. It should only be one. Should only be one and done. Should only take one clip, whether it be mine or someone else's. Should only take one clip for us to turn around and say we're not alone. Right? And the clearest evidence should be pushed out there for everyone to see. This is a real UFO. This was taken there by this person. They're up there, guys. We are not alone. I don't know why that doesn't happen. It's a struggle that I found since day one. I'm sure every single content creator out there that's pushing for UAP disclosure feels the same way. But guys, if you're wondering why this evidence has never made it to the big time, to the big channels, to the news, all that stuff, it's because of people like Grant. And again, I don't dislike Grant. I think he's a top chap, a bit of an explorer, puts in time and effort. I respect that. He's a funny guy, but it is a real problem. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, guys. We can try and tackle this challenge together, maybe. But I do need some ideas because we are really, really stuck. All right, moving on. We're going to go over some UAP clips quickly. We've got one from Chris Carncross, Brisbane, Australia. And we've also got one from Ben in Oklahoma. Let's have a look. All right, so you can see here, Chris has really upped his game. The camera quality has gone up. And I wish he'd captured Gordon in this moment. So, you just saw something move across the screen really fast. Look at that. Now guys, before I move on any further with this clip, a lot of people that have just listened to me ramble on and then seen this are probably thinking, well, that's a flipping bug, Rob. What are you saying? Hold on. So, Chris Carncross, not so long ago, was recording in this very spot and he captured what I call a Gordon, okay? It's a triangular UFO that zips through his garden, guys, okay? It comes from above him somewhere, above the camera, and just flies down into the garden. And it's clearly a triangular shaped UFO reflecting light. I've captured exactly the same thing on my tree line in Chippenham, Wiltshire. It moved so fast, and for those that are on the fence with it, I went live and I got point of reference, okay? It comes from behind the trees 200 yards away from my camera and just zips up into the air. And it moves fast, guys, okay? So, Gordon is an object that we've captured all around the world. I've captured it, they've captured it in Australia, we've captured it in various countries now, right? Chris Carncross has done the same thing, and when he sends me clips in, I know that there is potential for UAP to fly through his garden. Because it's already happened, guys, okay? It's already happened. So, this clip itself, this object is moving fast, guys. I just started it and stopped it, and you can see how this thing is moving. It is quick, okay? Now, a small object near the lens is going to look quick as well. Now, what I find interesting about this particular clip is that the plasma jets you can see, or the white pixels that we can see, which I guess a lot of people would call wings, you can see here how unnatural the wings of this potential fly would be. And it moves very, very fast. And you can see even what I call plasma spewing over the side of this thing. And it zips off really, really fast. Now, I don't know for sure, to be honest with you, whether this is a bug or a UAP, because we don't have a radar detector next to the camera to give us any indication that it's giving any radar hits, right? So that would be the confirmation. But we have Marina Del Rey, Custodian Vial, who has a radar detector, who films these things every day, and he gets hits quite regularly as well, okay? So we know at least where Robert is. These objects we have to take seriously. But, like I said, with Chris, he's had a saucer dip into his garden recently. We've got clear footage of that. So I have to look at everything now that zips through his garden with speed. And this is a potential. It is. It's moving really fast. It's got some detail to it because you can see the white jets hanging over the craft, if that's what it is. If it's a bug, then yeah, we just need more frames per second in order to determine whether it's a bug or not. But this is how hard the topic is, guys. And it kind of ties in with the whole point of this video, guys. When we get the clearest evidence out there, people have got to try and accept what they're seeing, because everything else is very difficult to work out, right? The clear clips are very rare. And so it shocks me. It honestly shocks me when people see the clearest UFO captures and go, nah. It's just denial, isn't it? And where do we go from there? The question still stands. Anyway, thanks very much, Chris. Keep recording because you know it and I know it too. You will capture something real soon. Ideally, we don't want something in your garden because it's very hard to then come across to the audience and say, he's got UAP in his garden. Fact is, you have, mate, right? I know you have. When I recorded mine, it was only 200 yards away from my window, right? If it was 100 yards away and I lived on a big property, that would be the length of my back garden. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can be done. It is happening. We just got to understand that it's happening. Moving on. I love this one. Check this out. It's just a single black dot. Bearing in mind, guys, there it is. Bearing in mind, when you're filming something high up from the ground, they are all going to look like single black dots. Why is this interesting? Because of the white jets that are firing up from this thing, the fact that it's alone, and the fact that it's hovering up there in the sky. Now, for anyone that's like, oh, that could be quite close to the lens, you know, it's clearly just a fly. I can tell you now, if it's closer to the lens, it will be a lot larger than what we're seeing on the screen. A lot larger. Secondly, if it was hovering in the air like it is right now, it would be constantly flapping those wings to keep itself up, right? And granted, those wings are moving fast, so you're not necessarily going to see the flapping of the wings, but you should see a consistent movement with the flapping. And instead, we're just getting random white jets, you see? It's very, very odd. Very, very peculiar. Now, this was taken in the same skies where Ben has recorded them sources, okay? He's recorded many, many craft. And so we have to look at this, guys. I know it seems crazy, but this little dot here, we really have to take it into consideration as to what it could be. I mean, to me, it looks like a bug, right? It looks like a bug. But having the knowledge that I do on these objects, it's quite easy for me to consider the fact that it might be a UAP based on those jets shooting out. The fact that it's hovering there, it's totally alone as well. And sometimes flies do tend to congregate in groups. You see, it's very odd. Very odd for a fly to just be hovering up there like that on its own. So that's why I call it a potential, guys. It is a potential. I don't know for sure whether it is, but keep recording. You know full well you're going to get something really good. Something very similar to this. That's the message that goes out to everyone else today as well. Keep recording. Don't worry about what everyone says. Don't worry about trying to convince the world that you're capturing UAP. Just keep doing it. Keep sending it in to me. I'll keep showing the evidence. I'm not too sure what the community can do, if anything, regarding acknowledging what they're seeing. I can only put my channel on the line and pass the evidence on to the people that are willing to test for CGI AI and do the deep dive. I really recommend, if anyone out there is willing to put that to the test, get in contact with me. I'll put my channel on the line. I'll send you the Wales clip. I'll send you a few other ones from Oklahoma and we'll see how it goes. That's all I can do, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've got a solution to our little problem, let me know also. I'd be interested to find out. And with that said, guys, I really do appreciate your time. Have a great weekend ahead. Keep the cameras in the skies. Email me, undercoveretuk@gmail.com. Thank you so much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.